When you fight me, you're not just fighting a person before you. You're fighting an entire childhood of ridicule. Victor Fan, MMA fighter. MMA, mixed martial arts fighting, deemed as one of the world's toughest sports. Since its explosion onto the mainstream circuit, millions have flocked to witness this phenomenon, making it the fastest growing sport in the world, posing a threat to professional wrestling, even professional boxing. But this is not an ordinary sport. What some consider adrenaline-pumping competitiveness, others see as barbaric, shocking, no-rules human cockfighting. Facial lacerations, contusions, broken bones, knockouts, chokeouts. MMA fighting has uncovered a brutal reality for some. But for others, it has left them asking one question: why? Why would anyone consciously subject themselves to this type of savagery? What possesses some people to indulge in a lifestyle rooted in the giving and receiving of pain? This question stems when looking at all living beings. As living creatures, we live our lives with hopes to exist free of pain, discomfort, grief, and distress. We look both ways when crossing the street. We try not to get sick so we can be healthy and productive. And at all costs, we do what we can to avoid injury. So, knowing that putting ourselves in harm's way may prevent us from being happy, we set forth with a very candid question: what are these people thinking? To understand the psychology of these participants, we take a closer look. Through in-depth interviews, we sit down with these fighters. Face to face, we learn about their pasts and hear their tell-all accounts.
Picked me up, slammed me on my head, knocked me unconscious, fractured my sternum, put my tooth through my lip.
Watching him wipe blood off his face, all 5 of them started to stab him.
My dad, he wasn't around a whole lot. They got a hold of him, grabbed a 2x4 with some nails in it, beat the shit out of him, put holes in his stomach.
We interview their families to understand events in their lives which have led them to become fighters, as opposed to doctors, teachers, or lawyers. Fighters like Dave Cryer, after realizing his years of bar and street fights have graced him with exceptional stamina and a high threshold for pain, he entered MMA. We witness the agony Dave endures to become successful in the field of fighting. We hear his life stories and learn why he made this decision.
Kid. I would run my mouth and I would get beat up all the time. I got the brute in of a lot of ass kicking. I had a lot of family die, it didn't really bother me.
And we hear stories from fighters like Victor Fan, a 3.8 grade point average cum laude graduate of film school, information systems coordinator, and professor of film at Cal State Fullerton. Vic has engaged in a life of hurting and being hurt. On one hand, Vic's daily practices include the dexterous use of hand and brain. On the other hand, he jeopardizes and brutalizes the very brain which allows him to be so intellectual.
It is a great moment of focus. I see more clearly, I hear more clearly, everything just comes into play. I don't think about it like I'm hurting somebody or anything like that. I don't think about it, the violent aspect of it. It's more of me outwitting you, you know, me beating you at chess. And right when I ate that first jab, then it all came into play, like everything came into focus. It all made sense to me, like I found my zen.
With professional analysis from psychologists, the mind of the MMA fighter is examined with delicate discretion.
To release your anger, in a sense, your rage comes out. It's a feel-good, euphoric feeling, and you're dominating something when you break it down, when you destroy it. Somewhere, at one point in time, somebody dominated them. It's their job to turn the tides.
And for the first time ever, we take you into the lives of fighters and those who knowingly participate in what is clinically known as self-mutilative behavior. It's their artful balance in domestic living with bloody hostility, which places these fighters in a society few can comprehend. These fighters reveal their innermost thoughts, motivations, hopes, and confessions.
They shot him 4 times in his chest.
She's in heaven, man.
Sure enough, he was back there and he hung himself. He didn't want to make it, you know what I mean? He just gave up.
In addition to MMA, we explore the mindset of those who engage in other extreme sports and put aside the consequences. Sports like rugby, boxing, skateboarding, and freestyle biking. This is not a Hollywood fight club. These are actual fighters. The blood is real, and their tales are not made up. These are their stories.